So it looks like the relationship between JT and Young Miami is still as tense as ever because JT recently threw the most insane shade at Young Miami after Miami's interview talking about the breakup of the City Girls. Well, JT was not here for Young Miami speaking on the City Girls, and she read Miami to filth, exposing her for lying about the real reason for the breakup. But that's not all, because JT had more tea to spill, exposing Miami for being broke AF and faking her luxurious lifestyle. JT is not here to play with Young Miami, and it looks like she is ready to burn some bridges between her and Miami. Not the City Girls airing their dirty laundry for the whole world to see. They have been throwing some heavy shade at each other for about a year now, and it is messy with a capital M. For the longest time, everyone thought the beef started because Young Miami no longer had JT's back or showed her support to JT. It was clear that Young Miami was too wrapped up with Diddy and her Carisha Please brand, and she stopped caring about the City Girls or making music. JT, being the blunt person she is, even hinted that Diddy might just be the reason for their fallout.
What about City Girls? What does the future of City Girls look like?
An album. Hopefully, the future of the City Girls can beat the City Girls.
Mm-hmm.
And I pray that our egos does not like separate it,
mm-hmm.
or the internet, or guys.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, we were all just trying to piece things together and assume JT felt left out because Diddy was whisking Miami off to places JT couldn't get into. Miami was living the high life, attending fancy events like the Met Gala, while JT was left out. And to top it off, Miami claimed that she was retired, saying, "I don't even rap no more. I retired, y'all." They dropped one last album together titled Raw last year, but the album kind of flopped because it only sold 10,000 copies in the first week. After that, it's like the City Girls just ended altogether. JT distanced herself from Young Miami completely and started to do her own music, while Miami focused on Diddy and her Carisha Please brand, but mostly on Diddy. But then Diddy's situation happened with him getting sued left and right, and Miami was caught up in the hot mess along with him. She has been getting dragged on social media, with many people even going as far as to claim that she knew more about the situation than we thought. She was in even more trouble than we knew because in Lil Rod's lawsuit, he claimed that she used to transport pink nose candy for Diddy. According to the court documents, plaintiff and the Combs Rico enterprise were rehearsing for something in the Westival in Virginia, the court filing reads. Plaintiff Jones personally witnessed Mr. Combs do a few lines of coke in his dressing room. Defendant Sean Combs wanted to see, but Brendan forgot it, so defendant Christina Coram called Young Miami, who then brought it on the private jet from Miami. He also exposed her of being a S worker, saying, Young Miami, Jade, and Daphne Joy were paid a monthly fee to work as Mr. Combs' S workers and received payment via wire transfer from Robin Greenhill, which outlined defendant's ongoing criminal operation. Fans expected JT to reach out to Miami and offer her support in public, but that never happened, and that's when we knew that the girls were beefing, and they were beefing hard. It eventually spilled over on social media when they dragged each other for filth on Twitter. It started when Miami accused JT of sneak dissing her, saying, "A B been sneak dissing me for weeks, and I ain't say nothing. What to be mad at me for?" JT was not having this, and she clapped back saying, "Oh, Miss Mama, this your last day playing dumb. It'll be too much for me to tweet. I would like a sit down, Carisha Please, and this time leave Santana home." She also said, "I know I come off crazy, but never in my life did no whack-ish to this girl. She literally enjoys seeing me being dragged. When people show me love, she goes crazy and call it a hate train. But like I said, we can sit down and talk about it." Miami also accused JT of being a bad friend, saying, "A B trying to kick me while I'm down and play into these narratives. It's dangerous when I've been nothing but a friend to you." But JT checked this real quick when she replied, "You looking for a way out of your situation? Who was the first person called when it all started? You're a sad case." Miami said, "You weird, but always want to act like I'm a weirdo. You always mad, it's always a problem, and all I try to do is push you, tell you, you the ish, you can rap, you should model, etc. You always mad, you doing your ish as you should. Congratulations, but somehow you still mad." She continued, "You let the internet put in your head that I'm jealous of you. when you know I'm the one that always pushed us. You have resentment towards me, and that's okay. She then accused JT of throwing shade at her in her song, saying, "For you to come on here and try to play victim is crazy. Jatavia, you've been sneak dissing me for the last couple of days. I haven't said ish back to you. You made 2 whole songs dissing me, and I still rapped your songs with my chest and showed love. So what's the real problem here?" JT then said, "Which songs was about you?" And Miami replied, "No bars and sideways." But JT denied this, and she said, "Oh wow, you're really losing it. If you thought this, why not speak to me about it? You came on here and said LOL so people can ask you why you wasn't defending me, attention seeking as usual." JT then hinted that Miami had done shady stuff to her behind closed doors, and she tweeted, "If I'm ever mad, I had a reason to be. Behind closed doors, you have done stuff to me that you think I should just get over. You never come to my defense when I would have literally took a bullet for you. When CP popped off, I was there first episode. And when someone canceled, I showed up in a red wig. Keep calling me mad like the internet do, but you know me, my heart pump gold. I wish you the best always, and I love how fast you got on here behind Santana." They later came out to reveal that they had talked it out and were cool with each other, but child, you don't fight like that in public without there being a lot of animosity behind the scenes. So even though they claimed that they had made up, we knew that there was still a lot of resentment behind the scenes, and it would only be a matter of time before it all came spilling out again. And boy, we were right about that. A couple of days ago, Young Miami had an interview where she talked about the breakup of the City Girls, and this is what she said.
I think when the City Girls album just dropped and it didn't do too well, and we was just like trying to do our press run, you know, the whole rollout of the album was just so bad because we was just in 2 different spaces. You know, like we older now, and it was just like she was doing her own thing. She on the West Coast. I'm in Miami. I'm doing my own thing, and I felt like naturally when she doing her own thing, it just worked for her. And when I'm doing my own thing, it worked for me. But when we get together as a group, it just wasn't connecting. Like it just wasn't working no more. So I think we both was at a point where we was just like, we probably should just do our own shit.
Right.
But that was the point for me.
She made it seem like they naturally drifted apart, but according to JT, that was not the case here because the reason for the breakup was Miami's shady association with Diddy. It got to a point where she no longer wanted to do music but focused on Diddy. And get this, JT is also claiming that Miami is flat broke and has been living a fake life since the Diddy thing happened. For one, Diddy stopped paying her sugar baby allowance. According to a source, Diddy is no longer paying Young Miami's bills. The friend told us that Diddy had been paying for private flights, shopping sprees, and rent for a luxury Miami penthouse. Now Diddy has cut those expenses. Diddy still bought Young Miami a Christmas gift, but he's not as generous as he once was. The source continued, Diddy is not in a good place mentally either. He can really use someone like Carisha in his life. She really does care about him, not just his money. But the money is important, yes. So he has to start paying again if he wants her companionship. Yeah, we suspected that she was broke when she started making music again and dropped 2 tracks in less than a month. Baby girl needs the money and she needs it ASAP because she got used to living a fancy life with Diddy and can no longer afford it on her own. Fans hopped on this drama to drop their 2 cents and they left comments saying, Carisha is in the middle of a lawsuit being accused of being a drug trafficking head and an S worker who be recruiting other women or girls for Diddy. How is JT supposed to defend those allegations? Let's be real, it wasn't connecting because once Young Miami bagged the billionaire, she didn't care about making music no more. All she ever cared about was getting that bag. JT was the only one who was super serious about making music, and that's why she out here touring her butt off, and Carisha back with her old baby daddy. And that's tough, but sometimes you gotta follow your own path. I'm rooting for the both of them to do their best in whatever they do next. Whew, this situation is one hot mess, but do y'all think that JT is right to feel betrayed, or do you think that she's doing too much? Drop your thoughts in the comments and then check out this next video.